Hi, my name is Torrance Coombs, and this is FR Conventions. Oh, good question. I don't know if I remember which day was my first on set. I remember first impressions of meeting. Like I remember the moment I met Adelaide for the first time, and I remember. Wow, that's interesting. Nobody's ever asked me that. I don't think I remember which day was my first day on set, which isn't I don't know if that in itself is an interesting answer, but where would we have shot? I think we first shot at, I think I know what my first day was. I think I know. Okay, so if this is wrong, I apologize. I think the very first scene I shot, there's a scene where everybody's getting kind of called down to the courtyard. And Francis is going down the stairs, and Bash is kind of waiting at the top of the stairs, not even necessarily knowing if he's invited because it's a royal proceeding. And Francis looks back up at Bash on the stairs and kind of gives him a smile like, come on. And then Bash smiles back and comes to join him. I'm almost positive that was the first scene that we shot. And one interesting note about that was that staircase. That was at Charleville Castle in Ireland, and that staircase is beautiful like that. But the banister that I'm leaning on is actually only about like thigh height. So if you're standing up, it only comes up to. So the way I'm leaning on it with my arms there, completely faked. I'm on my knees leaning on it there, like it's way too short. It's literally, I don't know who made a banister, but this banister would not protect children from falling off the stairs, like very, very short. But I think that was the first scene. And then I believe then another scene I would have shot that day in the same place would have been, the one where Francis comes in like, I was out riding, and I say, really? Who? So kind of that, I think that scene was the same day, but I think the very first scene I shot was the one on the stairs, if I remember correctly. I think Bash and Mary talked themselves into thinking something was right that didn't really serve either one of them. And I think they were always better as friends. Having said that, I kind of hoped that once that was resolved, once she'd chosen Francis once and for all, it was kind of a shame that we never saw them together a little bit more right after that. I kind of, just as an actor, I wanted that to hurt a little bit more. I wanted, and obviously in the moment it hurt and it was devastating. But I wanted to see them forced to spend a little bit more time together and see that it kind of stung just a little bit. And I don't think, for my taste, I didn't get enough of that, but that's me being selfish as an actor. Having said that, I remember there was one scene early on between Bash and Kenna where they had a little conversation, and Caitlin became a very good friend of mine through the shooting of the show, and we always kind of hoped that we'd get to have scenes together someday. And then obviously when season 2 came around, we had the end of season 1 and then throughout season 2, we had a lot of scenes together. And so that was really, really fun for me. We had a really good time shooting that. But then that stupid actor brain comes in again. And I started thinking, man, it's really boring being in a happy relationship. We need some drama here. We got to shake things up. Somebody's got to screw something up here. Screw up badly so that we have something fun to play. And then sure enough, we got our wish, and it was interesting how I started to feel really sad about it. I was like, why'd I ask for this? Why can't these characters just be happy? I feel bad saying these things to this person that I am in love with, that I'm married to. So I think as far as relationships go that we're allowed to play out, Bash Kenna is my favorite. But I appreciate, I guess in the end, the answer is that variety is the spice of life. And I think the most interesting thing is, because as soon as I was in a happy relationship, I prayed for sabotage, which is silly. Because as a viewer, I don't pray for sabotage. I hate watching things fall apart in slow motion in front of me. I hate seeing bad things happen to characters I love. But as an actor, I love having bad things happen to characters I love. Yes, still close with the cast. That's been a lot tougher this last year, obviously. We're scattered around the world. At various times, though, we've managed to get a lot of the cast together in LA at the same time. And anytime that happens, we make sure to get together for dinners and things. It's interesting because when a show ends, what you have in common with everybody on the show you're doing is the show. So when the show ends, you discover just how compatible are you with these people? How good are your friends when you no longer have that one main thing in common? And we'll always have that in common. So we're all bound by that. We're all family forever, in every sense of the word, with our petty squabbles and the unconditional love. But it's coming out of Rain, a few core friendships emerge, and the people who you just really get along with, really click with, and they stay your friends. And then the other folks drift away a little bit more. But having said that, like, we're all in touch. Like, there's no enemies. There's no, there's just people you talk to a little bit more than others. And I miss them all dearly. I miss my family. Every time we do conventions, we get back together. And I was just saying, it's funny, whenever we do the panels on these Zoom conventions, we're all texting each other through the panel, like, it's so good to see your face. I miss you. And it's just, I really get that rush of people who are very, very dear and precious to me every time I see them. And I miss them so much. And I miss being in the same room with them. So hopefully we get to do that again soon. But they really are my family, and I suspect they always will be. It was so difficult when it was looming, and I started to feel, I was like, man, if this convention happens, I don't think it's even responsible of me to go to it. And just wondering, the fear that set in, and wondering when we'd ever be able to do anything like that again. And to see that maybe it's now on the horizon and it's within reach. I realized just how much it means to me. So it's cool that it means so much to other people too, that we love that people come to the conventions and that they attend. And but I think maybe people underestimate just how much it means to us too, to be able to connect with our audience. And especially all these years later, to have people still caring about a show that frankly we all stopped working on in 2016, and to have people ask us if there's another season coming. like, this is something that in our daily lives we put to bed years ago, but it lives on because the show lives on. It's still, and people are still discovering it. And we're just so blessed that we were all a part of a show that people still care about, and that allows us to do this. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart to everybody who has loved Rain over the years, people who are just discovering it now. And I'm just so thankful and blessed to be a part of it.